Hey everybody, Kevin here. And today I wanted to walk through a first look at the brand new OpenAI Codex Coding Agent. So I have not even started to play with this yet. You are going to be watching me live go through and try this out. We'll get some first impressions. We'll see if we can fix one of these bugs in an app that I'm working on. And we'll just see how well this thing works. So a little quick background on myself. So I spent, past year and a half or so building an open source AI coding agent. Basically, it would take you from task all the way to pull request. And it was a really fun project. It didn't get a ton of traction. One of the reasons why is that the co-pilot, the human in the loop, fast iteration, basically seemed to win out over this define a task and then 5 minutes later look at a PR on the other end and see how it did. My own personal experience, I found that it was just too slow. And even though you could get, there were certain tasks that it was really good at. It was really nice just to assign a few tasks in the background and let them cook. But overall, I found myself more and more just leaning towards using something like a cursor. It was just a better flow for me. So really interesting to see Codex come out, and let's see how OpenAI did, and let's see if this experience is as good as Cursor. Is it better? Is it worse? Where does this approach work well, and where does it not work well? All right. So first of all, setup was fairly seamless. I had to sign up for MFA. I had to get my Google Authenticator out, which is slightly annoying. The onboarding was just not quite great, but it wasn't too bad. Got to a screen where it basically said, hey, do you want to kick off a few tasks? And I was like, why not? Kick this thing off in the background. And this is one thing I think is really interesting about what OpenAI is doing is they've got all these micro VMs that they're spinning up in the background. Doing this at scale is really hard and really expensive. I know this firsthand. This is one thing we never got to with my coding agent, Jacob. Mostly because it's hard and expensive. A lot of details there that you wouldn't notice right off the bat, but you need to set up the environment. Everybody's a little bit different. It's a really difficult problem. So I'm curious to see how they're solving that, and also kudos to them for getting that figured out at scale. All right, so let's jump into my task here, and then we'll go through, and as this is going in the background, maybe we'll check out some of these potential fixes that were done here, and see how things go. All right, so I have a medium task to do here. Not too hard. Should be easy to verify. So I think it's a good candidate. So here's my internal project we've been working on, Spark. I think I've shown this before, and I had vibe coded this. It looked just like every other vibe coded app on the planet. So had our designer come through, give a little bit of a facelift here. So still working through the exact design details, but definitely looks a lot better than it did before. But one thing, as I was going through and making a whole bunch of changes, I had accidentally just kind of messed up the scrolling. This is a Next app with like a layout and a page, and I just had like weird stuff in there. So something happened. It's just a little bit off with the scrolls. And you can see here, I'm trying to scroll down. There's like 2 scroll bars appearing and fighting. And then I've got my like landing page thing, and it's like I can barely scroll on this thing. It's really difficult. So, and I want to just fix some of these scrolling. Oh, there it goes. Fix some of these scrolling issues and see if we can just make this, work as it should. So, let's just describe what's going on. I should have just been recording that. But that's okay. I just updated the design for Spark, and specifically the scrolling is off. The full page is way too tall and wide, and there's bars all over the place. There seems to be 2 scroll bars on a lot of these pages. I think it has to do with multiple layouts at the root, and then also in the various landing page or the other subfolders within the Next app. So please review all of the Tailwind code, see if you can figure out why we have 2 scroll bars, and I want you to clean it up so there are no scroll bars except a very simple vertical scroll as needed. Is that a good description? That's a good enough description, right? All right, here we go. So we got ask and code. Okay, so what do we got here? So make sure this is on the right thing. Yep. Okay, main branch. Okay, let's go against main. Why not? Let's try it. Okay, so here we go. So we've kicked this off, and now it's just in this little task layout. Okay, this is cool. Now, one thing that's interesting I'm seeing right off the bat, and one thing that we started here with Jacob, and we made a change, and it was a really important change. And I'm curious to see how OpenAI is dealing with this. Is no offense to every developer out there, but myself included, we are all terrible at describing tasks, right? You saw it right there. That task was very vague. It wasn't, and even then, with me speaking, it's probably more detailed than if I was typing something out. This is just an issue. Like, people are bad at these. What I found, though, is the AI is actually really good about taking your loose tasks and being able to do a pass and to create a really nice GitHub issue from that high-level task, especially if it has knowledge of your code base or some history of how you like to do tasks. So we'll see how well it does with this very basic task. But my sense is you're going to need to give it more detail than just that high-level piece in order for it to really do anything kind of serious. So a little bit of a yellow flag here that makes me think, are these guys using this day-to-day? Are they really strong at describing these tasks, and then they're going to find as it rolls out in the wild as other people aren't, they're going to have to update this? Or maybe they're doing something behind the scenes with this model that's actually just kind of doing that as a basic step. It's basically enhancing that prompt as it goes. So we'll see. Let's check this out. But it's just something to note here. Let's see here. Okay, so there were three default tasks here. The first one was to and this was the description: find and fix a code issue, explain the code base, and fix a bug. All right, so let's check out this bug. I'm curious what bug. It's my code, guys. I don't have any bugs. Come on. Okay, so I'm just looking at this live. So first of all, we have this this diff view. So this is exactly the view that I had in my app. So we got the diff view, and we have the logs. So where are we? So we're in utils server, grade score, match. Allow matching across new lines. This XML tags. Honestly, I don't even know what this is. Okay, so it's a regex thing. Tag. Okay, so okay. I am not a regex person. I don't know what was wrong here. I don't know exactly what the deal is, but it fixed a regex. Cool, I guess. See, this is hard because I have no way. I have no way of validating this just by glancing at it. Me as a person who does not love regexes and does not have everything memorized. I'm sure regex experts are out there looking at this like, Kevin, you're an idiot. Of course it's blah. We do have a little update here. We can match tags to span multiple lines. But in use, I'm not sure that that's actually an issue. This is coming from a prompt. We're evaluating part of a prompt that's in a XML format and trying to pull out structured data from there. Okay, fine. Does this really help me? No. We got a linting error. I think this is because I haven't, I got to set up next. Again, this is one of the things that's tricky. You got to set up this environment. It's not done out of the box. Honestly, this isn't even worth me pulling in. Maybe this is useful, but I haven't had this as an actual issue. I'm nervous if I pull it in, something will break. So it doesn't seem that critical. So -1 right off the bat. Although, to be fair, my code is bug free, so of course it's not going to find anything. Just kidding. All right, what do we got here? Explain the code base to a newcomer. Okay, this is like when I talk to any user, they were always telling me, this is the thing I want to use your app for, Kevin. But personally, it's kind of mediocre. It's like you can, I don't know, use my Pacemax tool, throw that into O3, you can figure out it's going to give you a much better version of this. So, okay, fine. Important features, TRPC. We have this. what's all this? Okay, so we got little bits of code here. Okay, interesting. Vector search, yep. Ingest, okay, yeah, so I pulled out, what's nice about this is it pulled out a lot of the more interesting, and yeah, I called it important features. These are sort of the more unique features here. This isn't a super complex app, but let's see here. I don't know. If I was a new person, it'll be interesting. I've got some interns coming in to work on this in 2 weeks. I'll send them this, see if it's helpful to them versus just a straight up O3. So I'll give that a try. We'll see if that is useful for them. For me personally, also zero value add, so that's okay. Okay, so what is this? Find and fix code issues. Find issues propose one task to fix a typo, one to fix a bug, one to fix a code comment, and one to improve a test. Okay, so I guess it did 3 things. Now, look at this. It worked for 6 minutes. I haven't actually looked at holy cow, there's a lot here. So this is a typical agentic type of workflow. We see this all the time in Cursor. I do like how it's kind of showing its work, showing exactly the part that it's looking at. If you guys have been paying attention to my how to build a IDE piece, you can see here, this is how it works, right? It's got a couple of commands, and they're really just kind of like looking at a certain snapshot of code at a time. And there are pros and cons to this, but, look at this. We're pulling in like 20 lines of code. Is that... I don't know. It seemed like more than 20. But anyway, there we go. 60. Okay. I'm using grep. We just have some basic tools. Like, that's all. It's got this like really simple, straightforward way to find these. Oh, look at this. It's trying to find some bugs. I don't even know what it's doing. Okay. So anyway, that's the logs. Don't need to dig through that. But let's see what is going in here. Okay, so what's cool is it found some issues, and then I can kick these off if I want. So here's just a test. Embeddings. Only with the string. I found a typo. Yeah. Oh, great. Thanks. That seems good. Hey, good for you. Does that actually matter in real life? No. The agent doesn't care if you have a minor typo, but that's okay. It found it, and that's cool. Scripts, generate founder ideas. CLI, valid user ID, script. Generate founder ideas. Okay. This was an old script. It's saying you should add a CLI argument. I don't really need to do that. Don't care. But what's nice about this, it's free. You hit it, it goes. If you don't really care, don't do it. Generate embeddings. No, I'm not going to change the comment. Ask me to change the comment. No. That's not very useful. Hey, check the test. Hey, dummy, Kevin, you don't have any tests defined here. Yes, I know. It's terrible. But hey, you know what? Let's kick it off. This could be a great thing. It could just completely fail, but I don't have tests set up yet for this. Been working through this pretty quickly, but now's a good time to set up some tests. So let's go ahead. Let's do it. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna have a beautifully, perfectly tested code base by the end of this. So thank you. So overall here, did an okay job. It's kind of interesting, and I like this workflow of it tells you what to do. You can update it. You can kick this off. It's pretty simple. It's very like ChatGPT-ish. So hey, it's cool. All right, now here's my actual bug, and let's see. Not only did it fix it, but can it? How easy is it for me to actually verify this? Okay, something like a Lovable, something like a Bolt has the preview built in. Even ChatGPT itself. Preview mode, right? You can see what that code looks like. That's a really hard, difficult thing. Again, as a coding, like I wish I had that feature in Jacob. I don't. But and again, it's hard for all the reasons that I said before of setting up the environment, getting it to work. Hopefully that's a feature that is coming. I don't see anything technically to prevent that, assuming you can set things up properly, but okay. So what do we have here? So basically this feels right. Okay. Instead of our overflow scroll, we're going to make it hidden. The height, this feels wrong. We took out the HTML part. That feels very wrong, but maybe. Do we have an extra HTML? Maybe. Yeesh. Yeah, that might be. That's an interesting bug there. So, but this isn't feedback. This isn't even the right thing. That feels wrong to me. Just feels wrong. So, but yeah, I agree. You shouldn't have seen that. Yep. Okay. Fine. It shouldn't have been there. I don't think that's actually going to fix my issue. But let's find out. Okay. So, what do I do now? We have, this is also something I like. You have the option to create a new draft, copy this or the patch. Interesting. I like that you can see what it's working on. You can tell that this is really built to be this asynchronous type of task manager. And if you guys know me, I've been talking about this for a while. That's the next step I want to see with AI coding IDEs is how do you manage a bunch of stuff in parallel? How do you review code properly? What does that look like? And I really like that they're taking the first steps here towards building this tool in a way that's nice and clean and allows you to see all that stuff. I also like that it gives you the option to create a pull request. This is one thing with Jacob. It just automatically would create a pull request without being, you don't like it, you can just delete it. But the problem is, of course, when you make a pull request, it sends out emails to all your team. It's a subtle thing, but they might jump in there and see it, and the code might have been not great because it was AI generated, and then people are like, "Oh, Kevin, you're the vibe coder. You don't know what you're doing because you're just doing AI code." Like, there's a little bit of a weird dynamic there. So you do have to think about this as you're developing things, not just what's the most the best technical approach, but also what's the best human approach and the best team approach. Okay, so what do we do here? So again, right? You see this. Hey, it fails. Your fellow devs are gonna be like, hey, I'm not gonna. Your thing is failing. Like, what's going on here? Again, I know what's going on. This is mine. Where are we at? So I like how it did this. Codex. Okay, so let's do this. I don't even know if I have this open, but guys, I'm working on like 6 things at once. Email butler. This is okay. Let's just do this. I think this is right. There we go. My face is covering this thing. Okay, there we go. Okay, and then let's just see if we've got. That's gonna run on some random port. No, okay. So we got localhost 3000. Before we do this, let me do this. Let's check out that branch. Okay, fine. Fetch. There it is. Okay, here we go. Oh, yeah. So. It's an easy one to verify. Let's see if it did it. Here we are. Okay, so we got Spark. Here, I'm going to go to scroll. Let's see. Oh, it did not. It fixed the side scrolling. But we still have, it's just too long. Look at this auto. It's like doing this weird scrolling piece here. It did not actually fix that bug. Let's look at this landing page thing here too. I think I can just grab this because I'm using my broad database locally. That's okay. Okay, so let's see if we got some scroll. Now, see that scroll? I'm scrolling with my hand. You guys can't see this, but it's not working. So it did not fix my bug. And again, you got this really interesting interplay between, is it a problem with the coding model? Is it something with the setup? Are the tools not quite right? Does it need to refine my prompt? Does it need to set that up? What's going on there? It's really interesting. So anyway, so this is my first look at Codex. Overall, fine. It's not blowing my mind. Really interesting ideas. Would love to see where they go with this. And overall, I'm going to keep giving it a shot for certain things, but it's not a game changer. This isn't going to completely upend the way that I write code, but take a look at this. Look out, 2-3 years in the future, I think this is the way that most code is going to be written. So I appreciate that they're heading in that direction. Again, the research preview, I don't want to be too harsh on this poor team. You know, there's a handful of people who did a lot of really good work here, a lot of great ideas, and fun to see. Overall, give it a shot. See how it works. See what you think. Leave some comments below. And as always, go ahead and subscribe. I know I've been really lax on my videos, guys, but honestly, I want to try to make sure that I'm giving quality videos. I made a video last week, looked at it, I was like, this is kind of mediocre. A lot of the same things I've been doing. Even though that process works well, where I'm vibe coding and doing the plan and all this stuff, I mean, how many hour-long videos do you want to watch where it's just kind of the same thing? So I want to be careful not to put out stuff that isn't high quality. So you may not see as many videos, but hopefully the ones you see are things that are worth looking at. So anyway, hope everything's well, and really excited to actually, what I want to do, I would love to show you guys the Jacob, what I built for my AI coding agent. Also, you know, don't know if you've seen lots of rumors that we have a new coding agent coming out from Google this week. Google I/O is Tuesday as of this filming, so we haven't seen that yet. I want to try that out. We'll compare it to Codex. We'll compare it to Jacob. We'll see how things are going in this agentic AI space because, again, it's not there yet. Getting there, worth checking out and seeing where things are at. All right. Again, go ahead and subscribe, and I will talk to you later.